Hello and welcome back to the Need to Know Cold SAT Math Formulas. This is part 3 of the series. I want to talk to you for a moment about the benefits of knowing the series. First of all, you can outcompete anyone who does not already know these things or have these memorized. Secondly, you can feel a lot more comfortable on game day. A lot of my students tell me that this really has helped them feel more comfortable in their skin and relieve a lot of test anxiety. Finally, there's a lot of crossover value into your other classes like pre-calculus and algebra 2. So let's please continue after the bump. Okay, the first question we want to ask ourselves is this, is how do you solve absolute value questions? So let me give you a quick example here. So let's say we have 2x minus 4. I believe that is the example on the back, and that's all in an absolute value sign. So the question might be, what is the greatest possible value of x, or the least possible value of x? Well, we have to be able to get both of those terms. So my advice is write it twice. 2x minus 4 is equal to 24, and then 2x minus 4 is equal to 24. But just leave a little space and make the second one negative. Does this make sense? So you're going to solve it twice. You're going to get 2 answers. Now I have to complicate that out a little bit. So if there's an inequality in this situation, you're going to want to write it out twice. But the second one, you've got to make it negative and flip it. All right. So let's review. If you have an inequality here, you got to write it twice, solve it twice, and the second one needs to have a negative answer. If there's an inequality, you can write it twice. Second one has a negative answer, and you reverse the sign. All right, let's move on. Ah, yes, slope of a line. Let us chat. All right, I'm going to do a quick diagram. I want to say this is a positive slope, like you want your profits at the corporation to be. This is a negative slope. This is not how you want things to look. Moving on forward, this is a slope of 0. If profits are 0 over a period of time. Or they'd be actually stable, but it'd be a slope of 0. And then this is an undefined slope. And we'll chat about that a bit more later because there's some fancy stuff to do with that. What is true about the slopes of perpendicular lines? Well, let's answer these in turn. So first of all, we get the slope by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The y's go on top, everybody. That's really, really important. Next, or another way of thinking about that is that it's rise over run with the rise, or if you have a graph, it's actually, you can just count it. So let's do quick examples. Let's say this is a point here, and this is a point here. And again, please forgive my writing. This is new technology for me. Let's see, but this is, let's say this is 3 and this is 4, so this would be a slope of 3 over 4. And you can get that from a change in y over change in x, but more importantly, please remember the perpendicular lines have the negative reciprocal slope. So if there was a perpendicular line here to that, it would be a negative 4 over 3. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's move on. All right. How does one get the median, and how does one define mode? All right. Median is just the middle one. I have a lot of language up here, but really, median is just the middle one. So most people learn some sort of technique. You kind of scratch out the things, and you kind of end up with the middle one. Well and good. But let's say you have actually like 2 middle. What you want to do is you want to get the average or the halfway point between these two. And my advice is add them up and then divide by 2. So 3 plus 4 is 7, divided by 2 is 3.5. All right, next up, if it's some sort of a regular system, again, it's going to work. 10 plus 16 is 26. 26 divided by 2 is, again, 13. Right, mode. Mode is the most frequent. So in this situation, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, the mode would be 8. There are 2 8s in there. It is the most frequent. It is the mode. Now, I want to talk about this one. In this situation, there is what we call no mode. I bring that up because some people want to say that's a mode of 0. That is not a mode of 0. Let me give you an example of a mode of 0. If you had 2 zeros, that would be a mode of 0. But as it stands, when we have no mode, we say no mode, or write no mode. Next up, oh yes, how do we solve for the mean? Well and good, let's chat. Most people know how to solve for the mean, but I want to talk to you about a particular question on the SAT, question type on the SAT, which is solving for a number within an average. So, if you just need to get the mean, it's the numbers all added up, or the sum of the numbers all added up, divided by the number of numbers. That'll give you the average, or mean. Alright, now let's talk about a sample question. Oftentimes, on the SAT, they give you a simple question, and it goes something to the effect of like, oh, the average of 10, 11, and some unknown number averages out AVG to 20. Well, if that's the case, what you want to do is take this setup. All averages have three components. They have a numerator component, a denominator component, and an answer component. And if you can set this up and solve these little mysteries and do this little trick, it has never failed me on the SAT. So the first thing you want to do is set it up. 10 plus 11 plus unknown number, which we will call x. We have a really great system for unknown numbers in algebra. We just call them x. So 10 plus 11 plus x. Notice there are three parts here, all divided by 3, because that's the number of numbers, is equal to 20. So just multiply this over. Now, technically speaking, what we're doing is multiplying both sides by 3. And if we multiply both sides by 3, we get 10 plus 11 plus x is equal to 20 times 3, or 60. And that's just a much easier question to solve. This becomes 21 plus x is equal to 60, and then that would, we subtract 21 from both sides, and what we get? 39. Yeah, we get 39. So, as I say, all averages have three components. And I want to re-emphasize this. They have a numerator component, a denominator component, and an answer component. If you can multiply that denominator over, it has never failed me on the SAT, and I've taken a great many SATs at this point. Alright, weighted average questions. This is another formula you just have to memorize. You're given zero guidance from the SAT formula sheet, and they do test you on it. So, the quintessential weighted average question, actually I'll just write it on here, is something to the effect of like this. Class A has, we'll say, 20 students in it, and they managed to average a 90% on the test. Class B happens to have 40 students, and I think the example I wrote on the back, they get a 78. So students, percentages, it'll ask you what is the total average of the two classes, or the combined average of the two classes. Well, obviously we can't just treat these as the halfway point between 90 and 78, because we have different number sets in here. There are a number of ways of approaching this question, but the one I'm going to encourage you to do is plug and play. And what I mean by that is you can just put these values in and it'll always get you there. So the formula I have for you is this: population 1 times value 1 plus population 2 times value 2 all over total population. So in our situation here, okay, I've used 92 and 80 for the two respective classes, but it's going to be 20 times 92 plus 40 times 80 all over 60. We get these numbers, divided by 60, and we get 84. Now, you might be thinking, this is not an average, because we have not represented these as percentages. No, I entered them as integers, and we got an integer value of 84. Well and good. Had you entered these in as 0.92 and 0.80, you would have gotten 0.84. So as long as you know what you're doing within that space, you're fine. So, weighted averages. Population 1 times value 1 plus population 2 times value 2 all over total population. That's what you want to know. Right. How does one find the volume? Volume of a rectangular solid, and then the volume of a cylinder. Well, the volume is awesome. You want the volume questions because it's just length times width times height. Right? You know, just that times that times that. And that's what's going to get you there. Alright. Volume of a cylinder, you can just memorize it. Mechanically know is equal to pi r squared times height. It's well and good. But I'm going to say, well, let's talk about this conceptually. Both of these are base times height. Base is just very clearly defined in the situation because it's length times the width, all times height. Base here is, for some reason, a little bit harder to see, but it would be the area of this circle again, all times height. Height is traditionally defined as this z-axis moving back. So you're just going to get base, which here is pi r squared, so that'll get you the area of that circle. You can imagine the squares, although it's hard to see that now. Multiply that all by height, and that's fine. All right, next up is surface area. All right, this is the complicated one. We need the surface area of a rectangular solid, and then there's a special formula for the surface area of a cube. All right, let us chat. The surface area for the rectangular solid is this. You need length times width. It's like wrapping paper. You need this one over here, and then there's one on the back, and then you need width times height over here, and there's one on this side, and then you need length and width, and there's one underneath. So you need 2 times the one of each, however you want to get there. Some people like this, 2 times length width plus 2 times height width plus 2 times length height. I personally like this next one better. Length width plus height width plus length height, all times 2. To me, it's a little bit more clean. You'll know one easy mistake that some students make is that they'll multiply in here. Should you do this on the test, you'll know you've gotten wrong. You'll end up with a number in the millions, which is ridiculous for wrapping paper. So please remember to add. We're getting one of each of these things and then multiplying the whole thing by 2 to do that. Now, fortunately for us, this question, or these types of questions, are kind of rare. The one I see all the time is this. The surface area of a cube, and we need to do something with that, and that is 6 sides squared, or 6s squared. And you just need to have this memorized. It can really, or you don't have to do anything, but should you memorize it, it can really save your bacon. So let me give you actually a simple question real quick. So it'll say something to the effect of like, the surface area of this cube is equal to 150. And then, what is the volume? Right, well, volume, if you can remember right, is just length times width times height, which is awesome on a cube because they're all the same. So if we got side, we could get this. Right, well, if we know surface area is equal to 150, and we know that surface area is equal to 6s squared, then, oh, sweet. 6s squared is equal to 150. Rock. We divide both sides by 6 to get s squared, and s squared is equal to 25. Sweet. Side is equal to 5. Alright, and if anybody can get that, 5 times 5 times 5, 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. And that's just very typical of how they're going to structure that. Or they might get you the reverse. So, sweet. Hello everyone, thank you for watching. If you like this video, there are some ways you can help support this project. Please like, subscribe, and or comment on this video. Please check out my other videos. I'm going to put a lot of good content out there for you. Next is you can get your question of the day at my website. It has a new question every day and then the answer to yesterday's question all in one email delivered right to your inbox. Next, if you've seen some flashcards in these videos, they are available for sale on my website. I also have books on Amazon, 4 SAT books on Amazon, and finally, please feel free to contact me if you're interested in tutoring on at my website at www.underdogguide.com, and I'll obviously have these links below. Thank you so much for watching.